Hello and welcome. I'm Julie Selby with Sandy Social Marketing Training, and this is the Wonderful Women Business Networking Show. It is a weekly half-an-hour show here on LinkedIn Live where we help shine the light on wonderful women and their projects, passions, business, products, services, organizations, and etc. All that good stuff. So we've got a wonderful lineup of guests for you today. I'm very excited about it. And I'm going to go ahead and bring on my co-host, my wonderful co-host, Deb Alcadino. How are you today, Deb?
I'm excellent, Julie. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. So nice to see you.
Good to see you as well, love.
And with the change of season, how are you feeling with everything?
It's, I appreciated the sunshine yesterday, I have to say. It's a weird time of year, right? Dark, gloomy days. You got to kind of keep your spirits up.
I got to tell you, I'm listening to a lot more even of my positive audios on YouTube. I love Louise Hay. I love Les Brown. I've got many favorites that I enjoy listening to. So I'm focusing on my dance parties and high-fiving myself in the mirror and my positive audios to keep my spirits high in this gloomier time of year.
No kidding. Hey, Julie, just a note, love, you might want to turn off our music. It is a bit loud.
Yes.
Thank you
so much for the reminder. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Rachel.
Do you have any tricks up your sleeve to stay positive in the gloomier time of year?
Oh, just get outside. It was such a nice day yesterday to get out, enjoy some sunshine, feel it on the face. And we had quite a bit of snow here. I'm at a higher elevation in Victoria. So even yesterday, we still had crunchy snow on the ground and on the lawn. So
I've had my comfy lawn chair out, and finally it had snow on it a couple of days ago. So maybe it's time to put away the comfy lawn chair.
Possibly.
Well, I'm gonna just mention that I am a social media trainer, coach, consultant, and I teach private lessons to professionals and small business owners. I love working with helpers, healers, and creatives. And I teach also online courses and workshops. And I have a workshop coming up later this month on Facebook and Instagram Reels. I know I go on and on about this, but the short vertical video trend is not going away.
Correct.
And if you're not already doing video A or B, considering doing short vertical videos, it's time to incorporate that in your marketing. So that is a workshop coming up, just a 3-hour workshop later this month. So I'll share the info in the caption about that. And Deb, please go ahead and introduce yourself and your business.
Hey, thanks, Julie. Hi, everyone. I'm Deb Alcadino, and my company is Business for Social Good. So I am a social impact expert. Business for Social Good is a social impact training and consulting company for female founders and business owners, really to help you use your business as a force for good so that you can make a difference on social or environmental issues that you care about. And so that I've completely lost my train of thought. And so that you can engage your employees and your customers because they are asking you to take a stand on issues that are important to you and them. And they want to work for and purchase from companies where there is an alignment of values. So it's very much a profit with purpose model for you as a business owner.
Hiring and retention is a big issue for folks these days.
Huge.
So if that can give you an edge, to attract great employees and keep your excellent employees, then that's always a benefit. The other thing that I know you don't always emphasize that, of course, is always on my mind is marketing. So when you find the cause that connects with your heart and you champion that cause with your business and use your business as a vehicle to help support that cause, then that can be used in your marketing.
Exactly.
To let the world know. And so, as you mentioned, customers are voting with their wallets, and that helps people do business with the people whose values connect. And we have 3 wonderful guests today. 2 of them actually have wonderful charities that we're going to hear about. So I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
And
awesome.
So I want to Deb, I want you to tell people about your freebie download before we invite our first guest on. And so if someone doesn't know how to get started, tell us about how your freebie download can get folks thinking about that cause that might connect with their heart.
Yeah, thanks, Julie. So on our website, business4, socialgood.ca, you'll see a free download there called Find Your Cause. And it's a workbook to really just exactly that, help you connect to that cause, whether that's social, environmental, humanitarian, um, economic, whatever that thing is for you. It helps you connect to that cause that fires your soul, and one that your business can get behind and champion. So that Find Your Cause workbook is very comprehensive. It walks you through a 4-step process on how to really connect with that. And that is available on our website, right on the homepage. Also, our freebie page has a number of infographics, stats, different downloads that will kind of help you on your social impact journey wherever you are along the way. And finally, one last thing to mention is I've just released our Sustainable Development Goals beginners course. So just
how exciting.
a very high level overview of the Sustainable Development Goals and one simple action that you can take on each goal as well. But
fantastic. Very, very cool.
enough about me. I want to bring these amazing guests on. So
let's get
who
started.
are we?
And I know we want to make sure we help keep us on track today with our time, Deb, because I love chatting and I get curious and asking questions. So we're going to go ahead and invite Rachel from Sea Change, our first guest to the show. Are you ready, Rachel?
Awesome.
Here we go.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey, Rachel. Great to see you. Welcome from
hi, Deb.
Snowy Montreal, no doubt.
No snow. It's 17 degrees here and beautiful, and it's been warm.
What?
Yeah.
Warmer than here. It's only 7 degrees here.
No, here it's 17. Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you on today. Our audience will likely not know about you or the amazing work that you are doing with Sea Change. So you've got the floor, my dear.
Please
for
tell us all about it.
Yes, fill us in.
Yeah, so I've been a humanitarian worker for the past 30 years with Médecins Sans Frontières. And 4 years ago, I started up my own charity called Sea Change Initiative. And the idea of it is to see change in the humanitarian industry. And what we do is we work with communities to co-design their own response to health crises. We all saw what happened in COVID and the inability of the health systems to respond. And so what we saw during that was really, it was the communities that were coming together to create their health crisis response and co-designing that with people who had expertise in health, in logistics, in health promotion, in safety and security, was really a way for communities to develop their own plans to respond to those crises. So what we're doing at Sea Change is taking an idea like that and going broad scale with it on different crises. So we work at the moment very closely with many different indigenous groups. Here in Canada, we work with Inuit in Nunavut, right up in the far northeast of the country, above the Arctic Circle. And with that community, we're working on the elimination of tuberculosis, but working through co-designing responses where the community feels that the history of their trauma of colonialism is understood, that they're able to deal with the trauma associated with tuberculosis, and then from that start to create their own responses to tuberculosis. And we accompany them in that co-design. And so we're doing that here in Canada. We're also working in Central America, in South America, and in some countries in Africa as well.
You know, there's two things I'd really love to highlight in that. Number one is that the work that you're doing is not you and your team parachuting in to saying, oh, here's a problem, here's how we're going to fix it. It's very respectful and collaborative and co-creating. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is how I'm hearing it. Co-creating the solution. So you are asking them, you recognize an issue and you're asking them, how can we solve this in and paying tribute to your customs and your history. You're not coming in with the solution. You're building the solution with them. Do I have that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have something that we call community first. We have a community first methodology which shows a way to basically connect, engage, mobilize, and reflect with the community in creating a solution with them, exactly as you were saying, Deb. And the goal of Sea Change is not actually to work with hundreds and hundreds of communities. What we're trying to do is work with some communities in depth around the world, develop and co-create solutions with them, and use that as a model to demonstrate to humanitarian organizations, to governments, to health systems, a different way to work with communities that really does embed them at the heart of their own response. Because when we look at the future, which is pretty gloomy at the moment with the climate crisis, increasing conflicts, more and more people on the move because they can't afford and they can't find food where they are, or they can't live in their environments anymore. That is just accelerating, and those crises and especially conflicts becoming more and more protracted. So we need to be able to support communities to support themselves. We can't anymore, as you said, Deb, have this parachuting in. We saw during COVID, we were not able to do that in the pandemic. Everyone was stuck at home, so no one was going anywhere to help. So we need to build that resilience and self-reliance in communities so that they're really able to be the masters of their own future.
So the other thing that so two things there. Tuberculosis, who knew, right?
That was still an issue in Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So the Inuit suffer actually 300 times more from tuberculosis than any Canadian-born non-Indigenous person. They're awful statistics, and it affecting the youth. Just a few years ago, a teenager died in Nain in Labrador. A year before that, another teenager died in Nunavut. I mean, it's not acceptable in a country like Canada with the health system we have, the economics we have, that parts of our population are dying from a Victorian disease.
Yeah, exactly. Just as we finish up with you, Rachel, I mean, because time goes by just so fast, is this a model then that you feel that you can kind of take this, and I don't want to say structure, but take this model and then apply it in other communities around the world? I mean, I mean, I know it's co-creating, but is it a model that can be kind of duplicated?
Interesting. What we talk about, something that sounds like an oxymoron, but we talk about systemic contextualization. So the idea of the model is that it is a kind of a blueprint model, but then it can have bolt-ons to it in every different community, and it can be adapted by the communities for their own realities, their own context, in their own language, with their own customs and their own styles. So what we'd like to see, and that's why our organization is at sort of the nexus of project management and systems change, because what we want to see is by showing how this model can be adapted in different environments and perfecting that model, then organizations, big humanitarian organizations, governments, health systems can adapt that and mainstream through in their own ways of approaching communities.
Amazing. I mean, I'd love to have a half hour just with you.
I just want to ask Rachel to share with us very briefly, if I may, how can we support you? What do you need at this time?
So we need support on funding. Investors to come in and see that this is the kind of system change that we need. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. We've got one very exciting project at the moment with Inuit who want to go back to visit the sanatorium where they were held against their will in the 1950s to be able to complete the healing circle, because we know that when they can address the mental health trauma that they have from that period, they can then go back to their communities and really talk about, right, how do we eliminate TB? And so we've got a really exciting project for that to support 40 elders to come from Nunavut down to Hamilton to visit the sanatorium, to have a TB healing workshop. And that's one very specific project that we're looking for support on. And we're going to be taking part in Giving Tuesday on the 29th of November. We'll be one of the organizations in that. And so if anyone wants to contribute through that or directly through our website, which is the name of the organization.org, we'd be very grateful for any support, or if people want more information, they're very welcome to contact us.
Amazing. So Julie will be putting those links into the replay, the text for the replay as well. Great. Rachel, thank you
We'll make sure people can find you. The work you're doing is so inspiring, and thank you for just being an amazing leader in this incredible way.
Thank you so
much,
Rachel, for inviting me.
course.
Lovely.
Would you like to stay on screen, Rachel?
I'll go in the
Or go
background if you
backstage?
don't mind.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
sounds good. Thank you so much.
We need to move on, Julie. Thank you.
And next, I'm going to bring on Kim. Kim,
Hi, Kim.
how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, awesome. Great
Thank
to
you
have
so
you
much
with
for
us.
having me here.
Great to have you with us.
We're thrilled
excited.
to have you. Please tell us all about you and your business.
Mhm.
So I am a brand visibility expert and business mentor. And I don't know whether you know any or you might actually be one, is a successful employee that has a passion, a skill, or some knowledge that you want to turn into a business. There are many people that are now doing this transition from employee to entrepreneur,
Indeed.
and it can be very overwhelming. And although they're experts in their field, they struggle with the actual attraction of clients and getting business and making it profitable. So what I do is I actually work with these budding and building entrepreneurs and help them to create brands that actually attract their audience, get noticed, and become remembered brands.
Nice. Beautiful.
Quite a learning curve, isn't it?
Oh, it can be huge. And these people have so much to offer, and I'm so passionate about helping them get the word out there so that other people can learn from that expertise.
So, Kim, do you have a sweet spot in kind of the demographic? Are these mostly, like what age group are these that are making this transition that you're serving?
I'm so glad you asked that, Deb, because it is really geared at people that have spent a lot of time in the corporate world.
Okay.
So probably, minimum 15, probably 20, maybe even 25 years. They've done that. They've been there. They want something different. They want to have, but they still need something that brings in an income. They still have bills. It's not like they're ready to retire, but they have so much to offer and they want to do something different. And they have great, these people are coaches, they're creatives, they're consultants, they're authors and speakers.
So these are people that have a brain full of information and experience. Right. I would say maybe experience and information, and they're not ready to hang up skates yet.
Yes.
And so how can they take that wisdom, that learned experience and learned wisdom, and do something with it? So they're
turn it into a business.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're pondering a side hustle, or they already have a side hustle, or both?
Most of them have already begun. So I would say that's why I call them budding and building. So they have made the decision that they're going to do it. They could be running as a side business. And I do have to say that that's probably a great way to start. So you have some income, unlike myself, who, did it the complete opposite way. And I guess that's why I'm telling people that they should maybe have a plan. So yes. But they're definitely serious about it, and they want to go full force.
And Kim, where are you located? Not that makes a difference in this virtual world that we're living in now, but Rachel joined us from Montreal. Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Toronto, and it's 24 here today.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
I don't understand.
Colder in the most southwestern point in the country.
We were having your weather up till just prior to Halloween, and then it got chilly, and so it's only going to get up to about 7 degrees.
We sound terrible to complain. We're so lucky. We shouldn't complain.
Oh, this is crazy. But we did. October was chilly for us, and now, anyways,
now it's back to being
please tell us more about how we can support you.
Yes.
Do you have any specific, like, how do you work with? Do you do one-on-one coaching? Do you have a course you offer? Do you, tell us more about how you work with clients?
Yes, so I do both. So I do work one-on-one with small businesses and solopreneurs that need help with me one-on-one. But I also have a course and a group program that's going to be starting in the new year. But I would love you to share out my brand new quiz, if you would. I have a quiz that was just developed, and it's hopefully really beneficial for people in your audience. It's your brand score. So get your brand score, and you can go through and find out where you are on your business development, what you're doing well at, and where you have gaps.
Nice. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So folks can do the quiz, and then you're going to provide them with some information about where they're at.
That's right. They'll get an assessment of where they're at.
Perfect. So if you email that to Julie, she will include that in our show notes as well.
You bet.
Yeah. Kim, we have about a minute and a half left with you. Can you just share with us what your training is all about, your group training program?
So that's going to be a done with you program, a small group program, and it is going to be all about how to create a brand, what a brand really means for your business, and how to turn it into your best asset so that you can then use it in your marketing and not feel like you're flailing around, not knowing what to do, and just trying things and throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Nice.
Well, Deb and I are big believers in brand, but what would you say to a small business owner who is not sure about investing and developing a brand for their business?
Then I'd like you to think of it this way. Your brand is equal to your reputation. So if you change the word brand to reputation in your sentence, I think that you'll realize that it is a pretty important part of your business and of who you are.
Love it. Love it. What a great ending.
Fabulous. Yes.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much, ladies, for having me today.
Of course, such a pleasure. We'll put your information so folks can reach out if they're interested in connecting. Would you like to stay on screen with us, Kim, or would you like to go backstage?
I'll go in the background and listen. Thanks.
Okay.
And actually, one thing we forgot to say was Kim Speed, Purple Moon. There you go.
Yes. Purple Moon Creative Brand and Marketing.
Perfect. Thanks.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much for being with us, Kim.
Thank you for being on top of it, Deb. Thank you, Kim.
We'll see you soon.
And with that, we have our next guest, who is an incredibly inspiring gal who's has a very cool charity that's close to her heart. And Amina, welcome to the show. We're so thrilled to have you here. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. So we'd like have this global or this national audience today, Julie. It's awesome.
So exciting. We're growing. We're expanding.
We get to go from Canada all across to Africa in one day.
I know.
Amazing.
So Amina, please tell us who you are and what your amazing charity is. And please actually start, we know this, but for our audience, please share with us how the charity came to be as well.
Okay, I'll try and do it in 7 minutes. So
no, you're all good.
My name's Amina.
We can run a little bit over today as well. We don't want you to feel rushed.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Amina Mohammed, and I am the founder and executive director of a charity called Cameras for Girls. And our family actually comes from Uganda. On the 28th of October was our 50-year anniversary living and working in Canada.
Congratulations. That's incredible.
It's amazing. We're very, very grateful for the lives we've had here and for the opportunities, which many don't get. So I went back home, I call it home, to Uganda for the first time in 2007, expecting to see the same world we left behind, right? The beautiful world, the opportunities my parents had. I was only 3, so I don't remember anything, but they left everything. They were born there. My sister was born there, and everything stopped in an instant. And I expected to go back and find the same thing. And I found overwhelming poverty. But more importantly, I found, I was affected by the plight of females. Because growing up in Canada, where you can be anything you want to be, with hard work, of course, they don't get that, right? They're told that your place is in the home, cooking, cleaning, having babies as young as 14, and the list goes on. And it shocked me and it hurt me. It really hurt. And so I came back and I just didn't know what to do. I just didn't know how to make the difference. I just knew it was in the back of my head. Fast forward a long 10 years, and in 2017, I came up with the idea to go back to Uganda and use my love for and passion and my skills in photography. Because I had
So just for the folks who are watching, you are
Yep.
a professional photographer
I
and
am.
you also lead travel photo tours.
Right, yeah. And I had worked in film and television for 10 years, and that's what took me to Uganda for the first time, because I was doing a documentary. And so I wanted to combine all of those skills and teach girls photography who are endeavoring to be journalists. So let me back it up. So in most parts of Africa, they may get to university and learn in an environment, journalism and communications program. And people will say to me, well, they made it to university, they must have money. For 90% of them, they may be supported by their family who are a little bit well off. For most of them, they've had to leave home, leave their families behind, and go and be supported by an NGO just to get education. And education is not free at any level, even elementary, nothing. So most girls are told that, well, you're a female, you don't get an education. And if a family does have the money, they're going to educate their males, their sons, over their daughters. So it's also rooted in culture. Things are slowly changing where if a mom was educated, she's going to educate her daughter and get that poverty cycle broken. If she wasn't, then it's again rooted and she doesn't understand there is an opportunity for her child and it will continue, right? So our goal is to work with these females because even in a university program, it's technical, it's not practical, it's theoretical. So there's no cameras to go around, and they are expected to come out, graduate, and when they go for a job, they're told, well, you need to own a camera and know how to use it to get the job. But a male is not told the same thing. So we fill that gap. We come in, we give them a camera to keep, and then through a 4-phase program, including 4-day workshop in the country, plus follow-up online training with photography and business skills, and then editing and marketing in the country. It combines into a 4-phase program. It's well rounded so that they get all the skills and the support they need. And so to date, we've taught 47 girls in 3 workshops. We had a big break, of course, in COVID. And 65% now have full-time jobs. And in journalism or
That's
photography.
incredible. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Because some of them have said, well, I really like this photography thing. I can make more money. Because they get to be the masters of their own domain, right? So we teach them, well, you need a business plan. You need to learn how to budget. You need to learn how to save, because it's one thing to, want to buy a camera, because we give them a starter camera, but they'll need eventually to upgrade. But what about when things go bad, like COVID? How are you going to support yourself when the government doesn't do anything, right? We were lucky here. We got government support. They got nothing. They got a bag of beans every 2 weeks and something like starch. So we're teaching them, but then we're really teaching them to be self-empowered. And to have confidence and belief in themselves, because every day they get the message that they don't matter. And that you're a girl, you're a female, you don't matter in this society. And I'm telling them, yes, you do. You just need to want it and work for it harder than I want it for you, right? So
amazing.
Yeah. And we're now in talks with other countries, but it takes a lot of money. And so that's our goal, to attract sponsorship, attract corporates, like you say, business for social good. When a business thinks about, hey, how do I get out there and do social good and make the world a better place? Think about what you can do, not just within the country that already has resources, but on the outside. We don't think about the developing world because it's not in our sphere. But we're seeing it today in COP27. The effects that we're living are the detrimental effects of what's happening in the developing world. But that also speaks to gender inequality, right? When you talk about environmental impact, it's against the females more than males, because they carry the brunt of everything. So it goes across all avenues, and we can make a difference, right? Even
100%.
So like if you're a professional woman or a businesswoman out there and you're thinking to yourself, I'm just one person, how
I'm
could
just
I
one
possibly
person.
make a
I'm
difference?
Yep.
I mean, look at it's absolutely inspiring what you're doing and the number of girls that you've impacted there and
Yeah,
empowered.
and we continue to do it like in our own way. So we have 85 on our online platform. It's all free, and they get to learn videos and attend Zoom sessions every Friday with me and get mentored and all that stuff. They just need their own phone or camera, because I can't do it for the whole world. I wish I could. And then we also taught 10 girls in South Africa over COVID online with a partner over there, and 2 have full-time jobs, and another one is venturing in mentoring so she can get her full-time job, right? And their focus is, well, the journalism thing's fine, but I really want to do photography because that's going to pay me more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we meet them where they are, and we're very careful to ask them what they need instead of telling them what they need. Right?
Yes.
Like Rachel's approach of,
Yeah, I might be from Uganda, but I've grown up, I've lived here. So I'm very careful not to go in with that colonial mindset.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm always checking in. What do you need? How do we serve you? What do you need? How do we serve you? Yeah.
And I love the fact that, I mean, there's so much I love about what you're doing, and I shouldn't say but, and the fact that you are working toward, I mean, I'm all about the sustainable development goals. So you're working towards gender equality, towards solving that.
We have 4 SDG goals that we're after, right?
Yes.
So for those not familiar, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we refer to often if you've hung out with us at all, Deb will call them the UN SDGs. So that's what we're talking about here. So gender equality would be an example of a UN
poverty,
SDG.
Ending poverty, right?
Education.
So you're the skills that you are contributing toward these women's lives is far more than just learning how to use a camera. It's having the skills to improve one's life on so many levels.
Yeah. We even teach them how to do a LinkedIn profile, because they don't get that anywhere, right? So we teach them the basics, like how to build a resume. And I've had to learn how to build that resume for them, Ugandan style or African style, not North American. So it's also me learning from them. So it's a give and take, right? Which is great, because you can't go and work in a developing world country, in my opinion, and bring your North American sensibilities to a developing world problem. You have to work that problem from the ground up. Grassroots.
Community first, as Rachel would say.
First, always, right? And so, but I'm tough. I'm really tough at the same time, because many people don't see the value in free sometimes. And I will tell them that there's a long line of girls who want
a lot of people who would love this opportunity.
And you 15 at a time are here. So take advantage and do the work. Because if you can't, or you won't, not if you can't, but if you won't, another girl's going to take your place.
Another girl can come in, for sure.
It takes a lot.
Not only as one person are you empowering all these girls, but imagine, or the impact on their families, right?
Yes, exactly.
And their communities.
Is a better word.
Yeah, because what we're planning right now, so the 5th phase is building a peer-to-peer mentoring program, so we can hire former students to lead a group and say, hey, what's your challenge? Don't go to Amina because she's an outsider. Come to us and let's work within, right? Because more females empowering more females is going to change the landscape.
Oh, you're going to make me cry, Amina.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh, Amina. So just in our last couple minutes, or what, we're actually a little bit over. So thank you for to our listeners who are still with us.
May I just give a quick shout out to Nadine Adler? She did make a comment saying such powerful work.
Thank you.
I believe that was when Rachel was speaking.
Yeah.
And Nadine also says, as a mother of a very strong and confident daughter, your work is priceless. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to make me cry.
That's amazing.
So much. Really, truly, the work that you and Rachel are doing, Amina, is just incredibly inspiring. So we will absolutely be, where's my tissue at? We will absolutely be putting your contact information. So if anyone watching this can help connect you with the things you need. So Amina, obviously you're going to want support, financial support, donations, but you also accept camera equipment, reasonably new-ish smartphones.
New, used,
For a board member, speaking
yes, for
opportunities.
board members right now. Yep, I've been having amazing like interviews and meeting amazing people out there doing just incredible things. And the one thing, like Rachel, we're going to be doing our big Giving Tuesday. We're going to run it for a week, and we're doing it with a giveaway. So
Awesome.
there'll be lots of information coming out for that. But if anybody wants any more information, they can check us out at camerasforgirls.org. That's cameras for girls, FOR. And any opportunity to share our work, bring awareness, and bring much needed funding so we can grow is amazing.
May I bring, I'm going to bring, we don't have Rachel with us anymore. May I bring you back on screen real quick, Kim, as we say goodbye?
Lovely to have both of you, all three of you with us. I know Rachel's not with
Rachel's
us anymore.
left us, but thank you, Rachel, for joining us today. Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Kim. So great to learn about the work that you're doing. And Kim, you and I have a lot in common, because I strongly believe that that we need more leadership and positive voices online, and we need to increase visibility of Amina and Rachel and these other wonderful women who are, and it may just, I work with a lot of like life coaches, for example, as well, that are there's a mental health crisis happening right now, right? So there's just so much need for support, uplifting, making the world a better place, a better and more beautiful place in all the ways that that we do. So I'm just so grateful for our wonderful women community, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us today to tell us about.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. And I loved learning more about you, Kim and Rachel. And I hope we can connect.
We shall.
Rachel and Amina, beautiful work.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much,
thank you,
ladies. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you. And thank you to you. Thank you, Nadine. And thank you for those who watch the replay. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week. We meet every Thursday afternoon from 1:30 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. I hope you'll join us. Thank you so much.
Bye.